Hey there guys, welcome back. Today we are starting one of 3 brand new series on this channel. It is going to be a fantasy sports series. Well, every week I will be breaking down my fantasy football roster, who my starting lineup is for this week, who's on my bench and why. And later on, once the seasons get closer, we will be also starting a series daily on fantasy basketball and fantasy hockey for all you basketball and hockey fans out there. So, this year, I have an amazing fantasy football team. I did my draft yesterday, and I personally do auction drafts just because I find it so much more fun for you to have a shot at every single player. It gives you so much more freedom in really trying to build your teams. And my draft yesterday was probably one of the best drafts I have absolutely ever done. And I am glad to be sharing it with all you guys. So we will jump right into it with my starting roster for this week. And then we will jump into my bench players. One of them is a suspended player, I will tell you that much. And I think you can all guess who it is by me saying suspension. Anyway, my starting quarterback this year is my same quarterback that I had last year. This year I got him maybe what would be the equivalent of like the 5th round, 6th round in a snake draft. So it is Mr. Matt Ryan, NFC champion quarterback. He was number 1 in fantasy last year in points, and I look forward to seeing him being number 1 again, and he is my starting quarterback this year. Now, my 2 starting running backs, I went all out on getting these 2 guys at the beginning of the draft. I spent more than half of the available funds I had in the auction to make sure I got them. First, we have Mr. David Johnson of the Arizona Cardinals. And second, we have Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1-2 last year in fantasy points in running backs. I got them both this year, and I look forward to them being 1 and 2 again. I am so excited for it. They are 1-2 on the draft board, and I got them both. I spent, out of the $200 funds I had, I believe I spent about 61 on Le'Veon Bell and about like 50, no, actually I think 65 on David Johnson. I spent more than half my funds, almost 60% of it, but I made sure I got them. Then again, Matt Ryan I got for about $5. So it was a good trade-off. Anyway, my 2 starting wide receivers are both, well, one of them's younger. One of them is a bit older, but both good. First, I have Mr. Amari Cooper of the Oakland Raiders, and I very much look forward to seeing him have another great season. I didn't have him on my team last year, but twice he burned me in fantasy last year. I got crushed. I had him on that both of his best weeks. I happened to be playing against him, and he just burned me. He was part of 2 of the reasons I had 2 big losses last year when I should have had wins. He beat me out. But I got him on my team this year, and I know he is going to have a huge year. Absolutely huge. Then my second receiver is a guy who I also drafted last year on my team who got hurt week 1, and I was really unfortunate not to have him. I had to drop him afterwards because he tore his ACL, I believe. Mr. Keenan Allen of now the Los Angeles Chargers, number 1 receiver of Phillip Rivers, and I look forward to him having a healthy season this year. Well, I really need him to have a healthy season. I spent most of my money getting my running back, so he was the best second receiver I could get with the amount of money that I had. So he is my starting wide receiver at the WR2 spot. My starting tight end is Mr. Tyler Eifert of the Cincinnati Bengals. 13 touchdowns last year and only by 10 games. He was absolutely a beast in the red zone. I had him on my team last year. I picked him up in about week 5 when his injuries came off, and from week 5 on, he was a stud. Now, got him on week 1. He is listed as questionable this week, but it is looking like he is going to play, and I look forward to seeing him in action. Now, as it stands, based on the matchups this week, my flex player is someone who I'm still up in debate about this. Right now, my starting flex player is Randall Cobb, receiver from the Packers. I am debating between him, Chris Hogan, and Jonathan Stewart for who to put in that flex. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I am really up in the air about which one of them to start. I am tempted to go with Jonathan Stewart just for the fact that they are playing the San Francisco 49ers, who are right now in a really bad spot defensively, while Chris Hogan is playing the Chiefs. They have a solid defense, and of course the Packers are opening up against the Seahawks. So I'm really not too sure what to do. Right now I've got Cobb, because I have a feeling Rodgers is going to have a big week 1, but then again, Brady could also have a massive week 1. So, and of course, Stewart's a running back, so he's usually getting more touches on the ball. So, I'm unsure what to do. Please let me know, and I will have it figured out by this weekend. Actually, I got to figure it out by tomorrow because Chris Hogan plays tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll have to have it figured out by tomorrow. Anyway, my starting defense is the Carolina Panthers defense, led by Mr. Luke Kuechly. I look forward to seeing him back in the lineup and them having a dominant defensive season this year. And then my kicker is Green Bay Packers' Mason Crosby. I missed out on Ganikowski, on Giannikowski, and Justin Tucker I missed out on, unfortunately. They all went when I had basically no funds left. So I settled for Mason Crosby, who, while still a good kicker, he relies on that Packers offense getting him there. So he also doesn't have the range as some of the other kickers. But he'll be good enough. And if I need to replace him, I'll replace him with someone off the free agency. For this week, he'll be okay. Now, on my bench, my backup quarterback is Cam Newton. Of course, yeah, I know that's a weird thing to say. Backup quarterback is Cam Newton. But he was 17th last year in the fantasy rankings. 17th. So, yeah, he's my backup. He's a good backup to Matt Ryan. Now, my 2 backup running backs are Doug Martin, who was suspended for 3 games for the drug policy. He will be good to go week 4. He is healthy. So he will probably most likely be one of my flex players for weeks 4 through 6. And then my other running back is someone who was an absolute steal. This is what made my draft the best fantasy draft ever in my case. Ezekiel Elliott is also on my team. I have Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, and Ezekiel Elliott. All 3 of them. So week 7 on, I am going to be absolutely unstoppable. Because Elliott, Bell, or Johnson, one of the 3 will be my flex. The other 2 will be my running backs, and I will be dominant. After week 7, moving on to the end of the season, I will not be losing at all. As long as all 3 of them stay healthy, of course. Anyway, that is the huge gist of my fantasy team. Also, I've got Jonathan Stewart as another backup running back. And then I've got Chris Hogan and Marvin Jones from Detroit as my backup wide receivers. Marvin Jones was the last pick on my team. I may very well go replace him with someone else. I have to check the free agent market. But Chris Hogan is a good guy to have on my bench, because he can have big weeks with Tom Brady, because you never know what's going to happen there. So, also my backup tight end is Jason Witten, Mr. Reliable. So, that is my fantasy team for this year, guys. And this is my wrap-up for week 1. I look forward to seeing you in week 2 after this week, and I look forward to having my first big win of the fantasy football season. And I will see you guys soon. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on whether I should start Stewart, Cobb, or Hogan. Please let me know soon if you want to have an opinion, because that is up to you guys. I will start whoever tells me. I will start the most commented player of those 3. I'll probably throw up a straw poll. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Enjoy this week of opening NFL season. For me, go New York Jets. I need you to get a big win to start the year. And I will see you guys soon. Please smash a huge thumbs up and subscribe. Peace out.